You should wear what you feel comfortable in, what you damn well please, to be honest. You know, if you want to be a stormtrooper. Some people get married underwater, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I did wear white on my wedding day, but I was very lucky. My husband, who's a bit sort of obsessive about things at the rest of the time, he organised our entire wedding. Absolutely everything.
And she let him.
Yeah. All I had to do was buy the dress, and then about 2 weeks beforehand, my friend said to me, "Oh, you know, have you bought your dress?" And I went, "Oh, no, I've got next Saturday off." She went, "Well, you can't just go and buy a wedding dress off the..." I was like, "Why not?" Anyway, I went to... it doesn't exist anymore, that department store, is it Dickens and Jones? Yeah. And went up to the top floor, whatever, rang the bell, and I said, "Oh, I want to buy a wedding dress." And she said, "Oh, well, we've got an appointment in 6 weeks." And I said, No, I'm getting married next weekend. She said, "Oh, my God." And took pity on me. I think she watched Loose Women at the time. It was it was brilliant. And, yeah, so I found, just a very white, plain, there it is, plain dress. There I am.
You look lovely.
And just very, bias cut. And I'd probably wear it today, obviously.
But did you enjoy that experience? So, no, you were a bit like, "Oh, yeah, I get a dress." Did you actually think, "Oh, I'm buying my wedding dress," or were you just very practical about it?
I wish I'd sort of done it differently. You know, having seen a million movie scenes where all the friends go, I should have done that. I just didn't. I was just really busy at the time, and I just didn't get round to it. So it was all a bit last minute, but luckily it was a very nice dress.
You'll have to renew your wedding vows, and then we'll all come with you. We'll have a wedding dress. That's what we'll do. We'll have champagne and everything.
I would love that.
Did you have the big fairy tale wedding?
Well, I mean, I'm divorced, so I'm not going to say anything positive about the...
No bitterness there, then.
No, and I mean, mine was all very... no. I look so happy.
You do.
What a liar.
Or is it hysterical?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, mine was very last minute as well. And I mean, I do still have my wedding dress, not because I'm holding on to something. My youngest daughter won't let me sell it or give it away, and she's just like, "No, Mummy." And I said, "Well, you can't possibly wear your mum's dress from a wedding that ended in divorce, and so it's in the dressing up box, and so, you know, whenever she feels..." Well, I'm hoping that she's going to absolutely ruin it, so when it comes to the time...
Mine's in the dressing up box as well.
Is it?
But when I looked for a magazine, I was looking for magazines for ages before, and then I found this dress that I really, really liked, but it was in Northampton. So I rang Pauline up. I said, "Will you come to Northampton with me? I think I found my wedding dress." Smoking those days inside. Look at my poor husband, he should have known. Anyway, we got the train up to Northampton, tried the dress on, it fitted perfectly. I was a size 10 in those days. And Pauline just burst into tears. She said, "Oh, my God," she said, "you look absolutely beautiful." And I did on that day as well, so it was a lovely wedding as well.
Isn't it? Because Eamon said to me, he got very emotional when I walked down the aisle, and I said to him afterwards, "God, why were you so emotional?" He said, "I don't know why I didn't think you would wear a long white dress." He said, "I just, in my mind," he said, "I don't know what I thought you would wear."
He said,
I thought you'd have something... There's a long version of it somewhere.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a long white wedding dress, but he said, "I thought you'd have something elegant." I said, "I don't know what," but I had a proper wedding dress. And he got really emotional, but I loved that whole experience. And I didn't do a big number. I had it made by a lady who's got a shop near where I live, and I'd often driven past and seen really lovely dresses in her window. I thought, I'll go there. And it was just a really nice experience. And every time you go, you know, we'd have a little glass of something, and then I took my bridesmaids, and then I took my mum.
And did she design it for you?
Yes, and she did this amazing thing when I'd said, "Oh, I want something with sleeves." That is not at all the dress I went in my mind to get. And she had... I think the dressmakers call it tulle. It's like sheeting.
Yeah, sort of
And she put me in a corset thing, which I could hardly breathe. And then she stood me in front of this mirror, and she started wrapping this material and tweaking this and pinning there. And literally within about 20 minutes, she had created that, more or less, that dress in this kind of sheeting.
Did it properly.
Yeah, and it was lovely. And I had another dress to change into in the evening, because I thought, I'll never dance in this.
No.
But I loved it so much, I kept it on. I was dancing till like 2 in the morning and kept my dress. Yeah.
Apparently it was... I didn't realise. I thought it went back centuries, but it was Queen Victoria who started the trend for white wedding dresses. Apparently before that it was, you know, people used to quite often wear red and colour and whatever, and it was her, and it was so popular, and it then sort of became symbolic of purity.
What do you think about guests wearing white? We talked about black wedding dresses and the colours.
It's not allowed.
Everyone's going, "Ooh, boo."
It's not allowed.
But apparently Taylor Swift was seen at a friend's wedding I think it was one of her backing singers, in white.
No, that's
And
not
I just
okay.
think, no.
That's
The
not
fact
their
A is
day,
Taylor
yeah.
Swift, everyone's going to be looking at you
She's
anyway.
already Taylor Swift. No, I just think it's just quite, I don't know, a bit mean. I actually think
I
it's
do.
a little bit mean to turn up. It's someone else's special day. I also don't think you should make, obviously you want to look nice, but don't make too much of an effort. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know,
Like,
don't stand
always,
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I always like to put something like understated, just
Yeah.
quite simple, because you want the bride to shine. I went to Cheryl Cole's wedding actually, and I mean, the first one to Ashley Cole. But I didn't even really know her too well, but I was very happy to be invited. I was like, oh my gosh, oh, look at that, look at that. It was amazing. But I mean, you can't really upstage Cheryl Cole, but it was, yeah, that was so over the top. And John Legend was singing, and I had a front row seat, which I loved, because I think that was the most exciting part. Yeah. But it was, yeah.
I'd be really upset if someone wore white, especially a friend.
Yeah, I'd be fuming.
Especially a good friend.
Furious, yeah.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.
Remember, you know, they get to the bit where it says, and if there's anyone in this room knows of any impediment why these two should not be joined together, and Amy went, and the whole room went,